I love to talk to people and share my story.
Yeah, and reach out to us if you are all about the plant-based lifestyle and you want to hang out with us, because we're always open to meet new people that are like-minded, and I think we're all in this together.
But I think equally as important, women that have gone through domestic abuse and alcoholism and stuff like that, and they just want to have a private conversation, they could reach out to you guys for that.
Absolutely.
For that conversation. I know that that's a part of your story, and that's for another conversation. But especially anyone listening, if they want to hear how they've gotten out of, they're in a domestic situation with with violence and alcoholism, this is something that people can reach out to.
And look, the point is, 5 years ago, both Reina and I were in terrible situations with domestic abuse inside our homes, and now we're here, and we've been able to we had the confidence to make friends with each other this year.
Right.
We do the same thing, but there was no jealousy or competition. There was just yay, let's do it together. I just met Danny recently, and it's like, oh, you're from New York, and let's work together. Let's do, and that's what it's all about. And I miss having that because, of course, my sparkle was dulled when I separated from my husband, and then I lost him, and it was awful. And you just forget how necessary it is just to have friends.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, when I was going through it in a tough marriage, and then I had my depression, and my life seemed like it was just falling apart, and I really didn't see that I was going to end up coming out of it, but I did, and I made a miraculous recovery, and there were so many people who were there to support me, and I always say my door's open. So if someone needs help and they need to talk, or because it's hard, you feel there's a lot of shame involved in it, there's a lot of different things, but there's no reason to feel that way, but you can't not feel that way. So it's nice to know that, like, I've been through it. I'm happy to listen to anybody. People do approach me actually pretty often, and it's a safe space, so.
Yeah, and everybody says to me, it's hard to imagine that you put up with that. And yeah, it is. Thank God it's hard for me to imagine, but it wasn't 5 years ago. It was not hard for me. It was hard for me to imagine this version of me.
Right.
I dreamt of this, but it was not easy, and a lot of it comes from, again, having the guts to leave and then just staying the course and just never giving up on yourself and believing in yourself. And that was why I left, because I promised myself, if this happens again, I'm out of here. Then I was like,
that's what I did. Same thing. Yeah. And then you had to go. Well, I was going to go. And I was like, I was done.
And I had friends, I had accountability buddies by that time. So I'm like, yes, I'm looking at my closet. What do I need to
But you find this gratitude. This is the gratitude movement that just happens. You start to just start to really appreciate. You start to see things differently. You realize that we're not invincible. And I think that was one of the things I never thought, oh, that couldn't happen to me. And it did, and it changed everything. But so there's hope. And I think that it's actually, I love this version of myself so much better. I feel like I've learned so much more. And the struggle is hard and it's real, but like, it brings you to a whole other place, and then you can meet other people who are also, so it's very empowering.
Right, that's the thing. I think you cannot achieve greatness without adversity. So, now when bad things happen, it's like, oh, okay, I know I'm going to be okay, and I know it's going to level me up. So it's like a bootstrap moment where, like, okay, I got to pull up my bootstraps and I got to fight, but then I'm going to level up.
You got to trust the process, though, too.
Exactly.
So people they got to understand that everything takes time, and you have to trust the process, and you have to just accept everything that comes your way. Amore fati.
Yeah.
Okay, just love everything, even the good and especially the bad. Because the bad ultimately becomes a learning lesson. And always knowing that if you trust the process, you will come out on the other end better, healthier, happier. And that to me is a part of the plant-based lifestyle. Like, I've been down a tragic track. Like, when I broke my leg in 12 places, the acceptance was immediate, though. I put my hand in the air, started laughing, and what are you laughing about? I'm like, oh, my life is done for a year. I'm just starting to accept it over the last 3 seconds. I had to immediately.
Right.
And then I just understood it's a process, so it doesn't matter where you are, just know, whether it be 6 months down the road or a year, that process is important. And believe me, you could do radical things in 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Radical things for your health in 6 months. Yeah, you might not become a billionaire in 6 months, but you could transform yourself if you trust the process and you believe and you change your mindset.
Yeah.
And you have a great attitude about it. If you wake up every morning the victim, you're done.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You have to wake up the victor. And then you're going to win.
Yeah,
I love that. That's great. Thank you.
I started doing all that for me, because I turned 40 in 2020, And, I lost Charles in 2020, but I still wanted to stay the course of like 40. I was going to do some things for myself and really focus on getting healthy. And, that's when it all started. And then I finally quit alcohol in August of 2021. That was just the beginning. Then there's so much more. And it's a constant, like you said, it's just a constant journey, but it's about the journey, not the destination. Constantly.
Yeah, it's always the journey.
Yeah.
Even with actors, great acting coaches will always say, just trust the process, don't worry about the end result.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the end result is a given if you trust the process.
Right.
You just wake up one day and you're like, wow, I just nailed that. Yeah, because you weren't thinking about it at all.
Yeah.
Don't think about it at all. So
That's
it's
great.
good. Well, this is great.
Thank you so much.
So happy to have.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
So I'm going to bring this home.
Yeah.
We're here at
I didn't get
plant-based.
anything to go on Saturday.
Oh.
I had all this food.
We got delicious food if you want to come down to Plant-Based Mafia. We're at 7100 Fairway Drive in Palm Beach Gardens. Follow us on Instagram at Plant-Based Mafia PBG, and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and all that good stuff. And check us out. Like, catch up with us. Reach out to us if you have any questions about the plant-based lifestyle. And trying to live the healthy lifestyle. I mean, I dropped almost 100 pounds, and I still have more to go. But I got to tell you, I feel fantastic. My numbers are great. Blood work is always great.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? So it's still the journey. I'm still on my journey, but just embracing that plant-based lifestyle, energy through the roof. That's, my mind is clear. All of those things. So.
And it's really good food.
Yes, it's damn delicious.
Really good food. So thank you for having us today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.